We all remember Heath Ledger's Joker. He was one of the youngest actors to take on the role, and as we all know, he did almost too good of a job of portraying the villain on the brink of madness. While he gave us probably the best Joker in Batman history, before we investigate what it truly implied for Heath Ledger to turn into the man behind the Joker, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so you can be notified as soon as we upload a new video. His role as the Joker was the only time Heath Ledger ever played a villain. However, Christopher Nolan was inspired to cast him because of his Oscar-nominated performance in the romantic drama Brokeback Mountain. Nolan expressed he was attracted to Ledger's performance in the film because he had such a lack of vanity. He wasn't afraid to bury himself in his character. Heath Ledger initially met with Christopher Nolan when he was casting Bruce Wayne for Batman Begins. However, Ledger and Nolan agreed that he was not right for the part, and even Heath himself wasn't sure he wanted to be part of a comic book film. Ledger admitted that he was wildly impressed by Batman Begins, and when Nolan cast him as the Joker, he said it was because he's fearless. The opening bank scene of the film was really the first scene that was shot. However, a mistake was made while shooting with IMAX film, and a portion of the resulting footage ended up blurry, which would require reshoots. Considering this was Ledger's first time disclosing his version of the Joker, he thought that the reshoots were due to his performance. However, this ended up being far from the truth, as Nolan ended up still using some of the blurrier footage just because he loved Ledger's performance so much. Heath Ledger passed away while Christopher Nolan was in the process of editing the film. Rather than taking time off to grieve, Nolan chose to continue editing the film as a tribute to the late on-screen actor. While promoting The Dark Knight, Nolan told the media, "I see him every day in my edit suite. I study his face, his voice, and I miss him terribly." Heath Ledger originally wanted to play Batman. We can relate to this one though. Who wouldn't like to be Batman? Christian Bale ended up getting the role, and producers later realized that he would be good for the role of the Joker. Would you imagine how different the movie would be if he played Batman instead? Before filming for the movie started, Ledger locked himself in a motel for 43 days. He wanted to isolate himself from the world in the manner in which the Joker would, to understand the feeling of being completely and truly alone. He got so into it that his disassociation began to affect his relationship with his partner Michelle Williams. He was the first actor to win an Oscar for playing a villain. The Dark Knight was nominated for 8 awards during the 81st Academy Awards. Ledger won the Best Supporting Actor for his role as the Joker, being the first and only to win in any of the categories for a movie like that. Superhero movies don't tend to be something that the Academy looks for, but Heath was special. He did his own makeup. Makeup artists weren't in charge of the Joker look that Ledger adapted, or not originally anyway. He needed it to look like how a man would do it with a bunch of cheap makeup, so that's what he did. Throughout filming, Ledger, as we know, embraced the mind of a madman. This resulted in him adding a little extra into scenes, and most times they made it into the film. During the scene where James Corden finds out that he has been promoted to commissioner, the announcement was made and everyone in the room was clapping. Well, the Joker wants to join in, and he's seen mocking the commissioner by slowly clapping his hands as well. The clapping was not supposed to be part of the movie. It was something that Heath added in on his own. After all, Heath Ledger will be remembered for playing the most iconic, crazy, and famous Joker. Who had the last laugh? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well to stay tuned.